Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to our morning daily meditation reading. Today is Friday, October 15th. Quick shout out to my sister-in-law. It is her birthday today. Happy birthday, Crystal. All right, guys. So we're going to jump right into it today. Please take your just for today daily meditations out if you have it. And let's turn to page 301, October 15th, choices. We did not choose to become addicts. When we were growing up, all of us had dreams. Every child has heard a relative or neighbor ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Even if some of us didn't elaborate dreams of success, most of us dreamt of work, families, and a future of dignity and respect. But no one asked, "Do you want to be a drug addict when you grow up?" We didn't choose to become addicts, and we cannot choose to stop being addicts. We have the disease of addiction. We are not responsible for having it, but we are responsible for our recovery. Having learned that we are sick people and that there is a way to recovery, we can move away from blaming circumstances or ourselves and into living the solution. We didn't choose addiction, but we can choose recovery. Just for today, I choose recovery. Okay, here's where I get really real on this channel, guys. Before I start with my thoughts and opinions on today's reading, I do want to say I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional in this field. All of what I talk about in these videos are my own opinions, and I'm speaking from my own experience of being an addict, though, might I add. I also want to say I have not done an extensive amount of research on this topic, that this is a disease over a choice. I have done minimal research on this topic, and coupling that with my experience, I am going to say I don't think it's a disease. I think it's a choice. And I'm not saying that that's for every single addict in this world in every single situation. There's so many different circumstances. Everybody is so different. For example, if you want to dive into the mental health aspect, that's a whole nother story. When people start using drugs, often they back away from their mental health pills and medications and appointments. That can certainly lead into being, more off and out of reality, touch with reality, and stuff like that. Where it starts to lean into, yeah, that's a disease. I don't know. I think it's too much. Okay, I don't know the exact words to use here. In one aspect, I'm trying to be really careful in how I word things and how I talk. And in another aspect, I don't want to do that. I want to just be as real and as raw as I would be here talking with a friend of mine. And I'm willing to do that. I just don't want to sound ignorant, because I'm sure there's a lot of research that supports that this is a disease. For example, I have heard that our actual brain chemistry changes when we start using drugs. I believe that. I just have a hard time with the words. This isn't a choice. It is a choice. It's a choice. Every time I picked up a drug, I chose to pick that drug up. I wasn't forced to. I didn't do it unwillingly. You know what I mean? And also how they say, what was the exact words? they say that recovery is a choice, but addiction isn't. And to me, that's a contradiction. How can you, for me, choosing recovery, you're doing so at the same time you're choosing not to be addicted anymore. So then how is addiction not a choice if you're choosing recovery? If you're choosing recovery, then you're not choosing to use. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm absolutely, and maybe with further education and research, my opinion will change. I don't know. This is just where I am today on October 15th, 2021 with today's reading. That's my thoughts and opinions on today's reading at this point in time. But this is why I like doing this stuff on my channel. I want to hear from you guys. What do you know it as? What are your beliefs? What do you know it as? If there's any good articles or topic, literature on this topic that I can refer to further educate myself or learn or research, I always love to do that. And I'm so down to do that, and I would love to do that. And you know what? As a addict in recovery, I should be doing that. That would be very interesting. I would like to know how my brain chemistry played a part in my addiction and my recovery. But and maybe I am feeling this way because I have heard a lot of addicts really lean on that. Well, this is a disease. This isn't my fault. And that's what it says in here. It's not your fault. I just think that we should be taking more responsibility than that. Okay. And I've heard people say, what if I had cancer? What if I had this? Would you discriminate against me the same way? And I just don't believe that they fall in the same category. I just don't. And that's coming from an addict. You know what I mean? So let's talk about this. Let me know what you guys think. I would like to hear it. I would love to hear it, actually. All right, guys. With that being said, let's bounce over to The Language of Letting Go by Melanie Beattie. And these are daily meditations for codependence. Okay? And I just like to reiterate that because this isn't addiction. This is for codependency, but they pair so well together. I love reading these two books together. So we're going to turn to page 300 and October 15th, Letting Go of Chaos. No good work comes from unrest. Unrest, fear, anger, or sadness may motivate us. These feelings are sometimes intended to compel action, but our best work emerges after these feelings have been replaced by peace. We will not accomplish our task any sooner or any better by performing it out of a sense of urgency, fear, anger, or sadness. Let go of unrest. Let peace fill the void. We do not have to forfeit our power, our God-given personal power, or our peace to do the work as we are all called upon to do today. We will be given all the power we need to do what we are meant to do when it is time. Let peace come first and then proceed. The task will get done naturally and on time. Today, I will get peaceful first and let my work and life emerge from that base. Okay, these are one of those, in my opinion, this is all my opinion. These are one of those very light readings that kind of give us a little nudge and a little reminder of things in our life. And that's what I refer to these readings as. Some of them are hard hitters. They really are thought-provoking and conversation starters. Other readings are very mild and just more of like a reminder of how to keep our life in line. And I think that's what this reading is to me anyway. So what I want to talk about is, and when I started my journey of trying to be more healthy, more mindful, being a better me, okay? I started watching a lot of YouTube videos on spiritual teachings and doing a lot of research of that nature. And they always talk about, because you always hear people talk about all the positive and the great that comes out of working on yourself. So when I watch these videos of like the spiritual teachers, they always say it's not all rainbows and butterflies. A lot of the work is very hard to do. You're looking at your traumas in your life. You're looking at your shadow, your inner child, all that kind of work. It's very hard. But it is a process. So, and I, this is just what this reading reminds me of. So they say like, when those hard traumas come up, you're not gonna do the work from that space. Okay. You're not gonna do like other work from that space. You're gonna do the work it takes to heal that specific trauma. Moving forward, it's a process. And once you let that go and find peace with that particular event, from that space is when you create, evolve, do the work that you are put on this planet to do. So that's what I get out of this reading. And it is a really good reminder, because sometimes, you're like, well, I looked at that. I forced myself to look at it. I made amends. I did the work. I integrated my shadow. Whatever you're doing. And you're like, why is it still bothering me? It shouldn't still be bothering me. And it's because you didn't allow the process to take the time it needed. And that's okay. Like, that happens. But once you become aware of that, it's easier to overcome it. So that is a really good reminder reading of like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm being too hard on myself in this area. I need a little bit more time. Have I really come to peace with this specific trauma that I've been working on? These readings really help you to slow down and take a step back and look at things from a slower mindset. It's so easy to get caught up in our everyday life. We get up, we have kids, we have dinner, we have homework. This whole thing going on in this world is just so stressful. We gotta run to work. We gotta get the kids here before we go to work. Our car's in the shop, our rent to do, our mortgage pay. It's very easy to get caught up in all that fast